Well, I really hate finding this stuff when doing family history, but family history is history. And when you're doing history, we're going to find good, bad, and ugly. And we're going to also find things that just horrify us. And I've done a lot of videos about this. And it's been a while since I had to do this one, but I found this recently and really disturbing. But I always say you got to have the records. You got to have the documentation before you come to any real solid conclusions. And unfortunately, this was a situation where this was something that I was hoping the documents would show that it wasn't a horrifying situation. And unfortunately, I got all the records and still horrifying. So let's just get right into this now, all right? I mean, this is antenati di matrimonio from 1948. And if you're interested in getting the Sicilian and Italian civil records, and unfortunately, they only go from 1826 to these actually 1951, which is really cool. Well, the marriage records for Carini, Sicilia, which is where Mia Familia are from. So this is antenati di matrimonio. I came across this today, and look, I got a Croce. So I'll blow it up a little. The bride and groom are a Croce Randazzo and a Rosalia Amato. Now, this gets my attention, not just because Randazzo and Amato are some of the most common names in Carini, Sicilia, but they're also the most common names in Mia Familia. And I actually am a Randazzo, and so my mio bisnonno, Pietro Randazzo, is named for his nonno, Pietro Amato. So Pietro is a common name in the line. Yeah, you can see here we've got the father is Pietro Vito. Now, that's not a common name at all. And Angela is the mother of the bride. Angela, not a common name either. So that kind of factors in to what I'm getting into here. So again, this is February of 1948. What they do is they give they give a limited amount of information, but it's usually pretty good. We know that Salvador Randazzo, which is the same name as mio nonno, Salvador Randazzo has passed away. So I'll blow this up a little bit more here. Figlio di fu. When it says fu, that means he has passed away. The age is given. Diani is how many years old that they are, even in my horrible Italian, and it gives what they do for a living. The women are mainly casalinga. So here he is 25, which is 25, and it gives Rosalia Amato gives her age as 25. Well, all right. They're both 25 years old in 1948, so they're born around 1922, 1923. Or so I thought.
Or so the Germans would have us believe.
This is where the horrifying part comes in. And I'm doing a video because I get the opportunity to quote from one of the best movies of the 90s, Liar, Liar, but I'll get to that. So what I want to do is I want to be able to show if they're connected to Mia Familia. And being Randazzo and Amato, there's a pretty decent chance. Especially if we have a Pietro in there. See, that's what really caught my eye. If there's a Pietro, Amato, or that, I'm going to be looking for that. So I want to see how they connect to my tree. So this is them on my tree. So I'm not able to get Angela's noni because I don't have a marriage record that I was able to find for the parents. So if they were married in Carini, I can't find a record of that. So I did check in Terracini. There's no record there. And I didn't have an opportunity to check Geneseo or one of the other cities there in the Western Palermo province. But he is connected, of course, to my Amato line. That's where because if we go here, Pietro Amato, Pietro Vito is a third cugino. Pretty obvious it's the Amato line. Again, mio bisnonno, his mother is Vita Amato. And so, of course, like I mentioned, his nonno is Pietro Amato, which is why he was named Pietro. So I start digging into the records over here. And what got me initially was looking in 15 June 1909. Okay. That doesn't seem right to me because the daughter is seeming like I mentioned, the daughter seems to have been born in 1923. So now the alarm bells are going off. I have to verify, of course, that it is actually June 1909. And yeah, so that is accurate because this is his 1909 Carini baptism record. And Pietro, Vito, Amato, again, Pietro, Vito, not very common. And what they did with these marriage records after about what they did with these baptism records around 1890 or so, they started including the wife. The marriage information is here. Angela is listed here. So again, this is the marriage record, Angela. That I got this. I got the same people. I got the right people. I'm starting to get. And it gives their marriage date as February 1932. So now this isn't always going to be correct, and you got to take it with a grain of salt. You got to have the records. So I actually do have the 1932 marriage record, and so you can see. Whoa. You can see it's Pietro, Vito, Amato, and Angela Majorana. It gives their ages. Pietro was 22 in 1932, and she's 19. So I'm kind of thinking, okay, who's the child here? Is it the mother, the daughter, or both? But she's 19. So again, you gotta have the records. So I do have Angela's 1912, her March 1912 baptism record right there. And it's got the same marriage information there, 1932. So now I'm thinking, wait a minute. Holy crap. Yeah. Somebody, now you could, I get that somebody could be born before the parents are married, all right? I get it. But she wasn't married but she wasn't born in 1922 or 1923 because her mother would have been 10 years old or 11 years old. They would have been children no, I don't think those, what I think happened here is obviously she's not Venticinque. No, she is Quindici, or she's either 15 or she's 14. So because I can't get her actual birth record because the records aren't available online. I know her parents were married in 1932. Now I can prove that. Now Angela may have been pregnant at the time. Maybe she was born in 1932 and she's actually almost 16. Still 10 years younger than the groom, which is, I'm sorry, that's just wrong. That's a child marriage and should never have happened. And I can kind of guess at when she was born in the lineup because I don't have the other children here. She is named for her paternal noni. So if you remember, the European naming tradition is the firstborn boy is named for the father's father. And so the firstborn girl is named for the paternal nona, the paternal grandmother. And then, of course, the secondborn is at the maternal nono, and the secondborn girl is the maternal nona or grandmother. I know she came in the lineup fairly soon, so it's soon after 1932. So she actually could have been born in 1934, which I don't even like to consider that because the marriage is very early in 1948. This is the 5th of February, 1948, which is just this is horrifying. She could have been 14 years old. Now, I have had where they lied, and the worst one I found was 11, and they lied on the marriage record that they were actually 14. I'm like, 14 is better than 11. And yeah, I can show that she's in the United States on a census record. She's 21 years old with a 9-year-old son. Okay. But that's still bad. So here, it's obvious here that she certainly lied, and everyone involved, at least her parents, had to know. My gosh, the priest probably baptized her. She most certainly lied about her age, and why would a woman do that?
That would mean that you lied about your age to make yourself older. But why would any woman want to do that?
I changed it so I could get married.
And the truth shall set you free.
I'm horrified in that there's no way in the world that you're going to have a 14 or 15-year-old that's going to pass for a 25-year-old. So everyone here involved had to have known that this was a child and not an adult at 25 years old. I mean, if you're going to lie and you're only 14 or 15, at least why not say 19? Make it believable. Make it 18. I mean, at least at an 18, you know, it just, why? This is just an out of the, this is an over the top lie. Why not make her 40 while you're at it? All right, make her 40. But 25, there is such a world of a difference between a 25-year-old and a 14 or a 15-year-old. I mean, it's wow, this is a monstrous lie that everyone involved here had to have known. I can't even. And I can't even, what's worse is I can't connect the Croce Randazzo because there's a gap in the wreckage, so I can't connect the Randazzos to the rest of my tree. I mean, they're on my tree, but I can't go beyond Croce's parents, which were Salvador and Francesca Gatto. This is, and they probably didn't immigrate because there's no information at all about them living in the United States. So I can't find out more information with that. But this, I mean, it's 1948. I guess child marriage is still very prevalent. I do have a video that you can check out if you're interested in just how prevalent cousin and child marriages are still, which is horrifying. So go into the channel and check that out. And while I have the channel up, you can also go to my store if you want to help support the channel. So I do have some merchandise there. Genealogy, I know where the bodies are buried. You can help support the channel that way. You can also support the channel in the description. So I'm hoping I get some more information here and see that hopefully she was at least the firstborn and she's nearer to 15 or 16 as opposed to being around 14 or, heaven forbid, you know, even younger than that, which is just horrifying to think about. But unfortunately, that's a part of history. These are the kind of things we're going to find. You wouldn't think so in Sicily. Maybe I'll get more information and it'll be even worse that Croce and Rosalia here were or Pietro and Angela. I'll find out that they were actually first cousins. But I don't know. If I do get such horrible information, I will probably do a follow-up video on that.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.